Hello everyone, good day and welcome to Plant About. I'm heading up towards the small village where we have been living for about 9 years. Now we just put out the introduction video to the channel and I just looked at it and thought that's a bit too polished and it doesn't really get into the details of what we've been up to. I'm just going to walk up to the garden and then turn the camera back on. Now when we got here in 2016, the land I'm about to show you was completely overgrown. Here it is. We initially freed up this bit of land and got over there and freed up this whole patch, and we built a chicken hut over there. The first thing we did was plant that small avocado tree. Well, it's not small now, but it was small, it was tiny. I'll show you in some pictures here. And this year it actually bared its first 2 avocados. We've tasted one and it was very good. I'll show you a few clips of that in the meantime as I get through the bushes. And I just want to show you what a big tree, big healthy tree it's become. We put a load of mulch on the ground so we keep it nice and fresh and damp. And the tree trunk is pretty massive. For my standards. As you can see, there is a stone wall right here which has been protecting it from the cold winds, and we might have got lucky because it seems to be cold tolerant. Here is 1 out of 2 avocados which have been ripening. We've already tasted one and it was very good, and it had a small seed, and very soon we're going to be picking this one and making a video about that. Now, many of you are probably living in areas where you can grow avocados no problem, but in Italy, it's not that easy, it's not that simple. You've got to really find a variety which is kind of hardy or cold resistant, and it seems like this one is, and we're very happy about that. But just to give you a bit of a more natural approached overview on what we do here, I could start by saying that we make videos about gardening, growing plants, specifically growing food plants. And we started doing this in 2016 with our orchard and ordinary vegetable plants. But since we had planted this avocado, which is just here on the left, we started monitoring it and slowly started paying more and more attention to the fact that we could actually try and grow tropical fruit even though we are living in a temperate climate. Now here we are close to the west coast of northern Tuscany, and we have a growing season that is about 7-8 months a year. But it does get cold for those, say, 3-4 months. So the growing season starts around March to April and ends around November, December. Now we are in January. We have many plants outside and many plants inside this little greenhouse, which we built out of recycled material. So in the greenhouse we have dragon fruit, avocados, passion fruit, a few different varieties of passion fruit here, and these are in the greenhouse because I want these to survive. I've planted many seeds, not all of them are doing so well. Then we have Annona, cherimoya, is that how you call it? I think so. This plant. Now I moved these inside a couple of days ago because I knew that the temperatures were going to go down. Nevertheless, I have left a couple out here. Many plants have died, but that's okay because we plant lots of seeds. We want to try and find the plants which are more cold tolerant or cold resistant. So again, here we have more passion fruit, vines, avocados, loquats. Loquats grow pretty well in this climate. I'll just show you quickly. That is a huge loquat tree up there, massive. So far we have managed to produce avocados, or better, let's say our tree has produced avocados, and we also planted some passion fruit vines in here a couple of years ago. I don't know if you can really see them. They're grown up all the way, climbing up there. Look at these beautiful leaves. They're still on there. And last summer we got about 20 gorgeous, delicious passion fruits off this. Now I'm really enthusiastic about this because I'd only ever tried passion fruit bought from the supermarket, so you can understand why I'm like super happy about that. We also have the chayote, which are falling all over the place. We can't even, oops, they're coming off. Yeah, this time of the year is when they'll just pop off and drop to the ground, and it's been very windy in these days, so that's what happens. We don't really know what to do with them. We can't eat them all. They're not good for the market. People don't really eat these vegetables in this area, so markets don't want them. So we just got so many on there, on the plant, and we'll just let them drop naturally. And then we'll give them to the avocado as food, I guess. So the chayote is very easy to grow, heavy producer, good plant. Everything's kind of crammed up here, so it's not easy to distinguish the individual plants, but right in front of me there are a bunch of avocados, and they're all seed grown. And by the way, the tree I just showed you with the avocado on it is a seed grown tree, which is over 12 years old. You may be wondering why we've only planted one avocado in the ground. Well, the answer is very simple, and that's because we do not own this land. So in a nutshell, we are studying the acclimatization and adaptation of various plants in our climate. In that massive pot, there is a Hass avocado that we bought, and we've been taking scion wood off that and grafting it onto the rootstocks which are in the greenhouse, because I don't want those to die. I need to get those growing healthy before I can put them outside. We might let these actually become trees and see if they produce fruit, because one of the things that we're enthusiastic about is discovering new varieties, and the only way to do that is to grow plants from seed and see what happens, basically. And it takes a long time and a lot of patience, but I think it's definitely worth it. Cuttings tend to not develop such a good root system. I'll give you another example. Here we have tangerines, oranges and lemons, and unfortunately the labels have come off, so I don't know which is which, but these were all grown from seed, so they definitely have a good root system inside the pot. Now I might want to graft these, or I might let these grow into trees and see what kind of fruit they'll bear. This is Chinese lantern. We got a big crop of Chinese lanterns this year, but not off this plant, off another one that I'll show you straight away. A huge Chinese lantern plant. I never thought they would get so big. There's still some fruits on. There you go. Whoops. Anyways, here we have rosemary, more citrus or orange or tangerine, can't remember. Loquat. We have dragon fruit sitting outside, and during the night it goes below 0 degrees Celsius, which would be in the lower 30s, 20s Fahrenheit, if I'm not wrong. Now these were grown from cuttings, and these cuttings came from Sicily, because you must know that in Sicily dragon fruit production is kind of booming. They're managing to produce all sorts of tropical fruit, from mangoes to avocados to dragon fruit and so on. So one of the main topics of this channel is our focus on growing tropical plants in a temperate climate. The greenhouse is really small, and this part is more of the like shaded area. The roof is translucent, kind of green light coming through. Maybe not the best thing, but anyway, the plants seem to be doing quite well. And most of all, this little greenhouse does offer quite good protection to the plants. These are yuzu, which is a kind of citrus. Here we have an annona, which I'm trying to save. It got really cold wind blowing. I brought it inside. All the leaves are down. This is a 2-year-old plant. I hope it survives. Love this plant. Here we have many dragon fruit cuttings, because we bought dragon fruit cuttings from Sicily, which we planted, but we also bought some plants from a store. It turned out that the plants we bought had been grown from seed, and they were about 2 or 3 years old, and they had all been pruned, and they had all these shoots coming off. So we took the shoots off and planted them in these little pots to multiply them, to propagate the dragon fruit. We overdid it, I've got to be honest. More dragon fruit in the boxes. They're all over the place. Fig cuttings is another part of the experiment. More than an experiment, it's a kind of mission, because the fig weevil, it's an insect. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it has become a huge problem here all over the Italian peninsula. It is devastating the figs. And we have some gorgeous fig trees which were planted by the previous generations. You know, some of them are over 50 years old, produce lovely figs, and suddenly this fig weevil arrives and starts destroying them. So that's pretty sad. Up here we have the avocados, grafted avocados. Let's see, this is Pinkerton, because we bought 3 avocados from the store, Pinkerton, Hass and Ettinger, and we've taken signwood from those 3 plants and we've been grafting them onto rootstocks. That is avocados which are grown from seed, cut and grafted. Here we have Hass. Some of these are double grafts, 2 different varieties onto the same rootstock. So this is our avocado, because if we go away from here, we're going to have to leave that huge tree where it is. So we've got quite a few grafts of our tree onto rootstocks. This one, and this is Hass. I believe this is Hass and this is ours. And that's good, because they'll tend to flower in different periods, or if they flower in the same period, they might overlap. Now I can't remember if our avocado is type A or type B. There'll be more to come. Here we have more avocados, and then in the back there we have a few mango plants. Now mango doesn't do so well in this climate, so we moved these ones inside the greenhouse before it got cold. And just in time, because as you can see, the tip of this one started to get damaged outside in the cold, so we brought it inside and it is recovering, I'd say. Moving towards the back, we have 2 boxes of seed-grown yellow dragon fruit. Seeds that we got from a yellow dragon fruit and planted. More dragon fruit, aerial roots reaching out to cling on to whatever surface they can find. Peach, which is grafted onto a plum. When we freed up the land, we found loads of fruit trees underneath the brambles. Some of them died, some of them we managed to recover, so we got a bit of signwood off the various plants and grafted them onto natural rootstocks. Then we have the biggest chirimoya of them all. Not doing so well, but at least it's still alive. And here we have a multitude of different plants. Let me get closer. So these are citrus and orange seedlings. These are chili peppers, trying to get these to survive. They usually die when it's winter, but I moved this one and another one right there into the greenhouse to see if they'll survive. I guess that's it, just to show you more or less what the plants that we're growing are. And this is not all of them, but it's most of them. Introducing August. We found him in a bush. He was tiny, he was this big. He was meowing. I had to hack my way into the bushes to get him. He's about 6 months old. This is a big lemon tree. We did so many airlayers on this tree, and it's still doing fine. It's full of lemons. We got more than 50 lemon trees off that one. So if you're into gardening and into experimentation, I'm not an expert, because we are not experts, we are learning all the time, then this channel might be the right channel for you. So if that's the case, please do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.